Hello and welcome to the Desert Sands on this bright sunny morning with your tour guide Fools, my caster druid. And why are we here, you might ask? Well, just recently, more by coincidence really than anything else, I had been levelling my little archer Red Ruin with one of the bear's characters, and we went through the Sands area in early Epic, and because she was looking for some bronze tokens for a ring of spell storing, which if you didn't know is a really excellent item for usable from 20, the epic version, and gives you 3 charges of like the major mnemonic enhancer potion, so restoring mana when you're in a bit of a mana shortage and you don't have a shrine nearby. So really super item to have. You can get it to drop of its own accord in a chest in the sands, or more realistically perhaps, you can collect the 625 bronze tokens required and take them to the trader here in the Menechtarun public area and trade for that item, or plenty of other decent ones as well. Some of you have been kind enough to recommend some good options for purple on his travels through the different classes. So I thought, as we'd had a fair degree of success in quite a short time collecting these tokens, I might like to share the little run around we did, where the possible locations of the rares are. Now you can look up on the wiki a map of the Menechtarun desert, and it highlights where the rares can be. Of course they're not always up, that's why they're called rares. Some seem to be up much more often than others, but I wanted to do a quick run round of the area we covered. I think if you were really lucky and everything was up, there's 4 in the undead area itself, 1 in front of the big tombs, that's 5, another one off to the side, 6, 7, 8, possibly even 9 if everything was up. I don't think you're ever going to get that, but you'd be unlucky if you didn't get 3 or 4 at least a time. And each rare chest of course contains bronze tokens. Any treasure bag that drops on the floor you should collect, because that's more bronze tokens. And you do have a chance, as I said, of hitting the jackpot, which would be a really valuable item landing, like the ring of spell storing or the bloodstone, both of which I'm led to believe can drop on this route round. So hopefully I won't make too much of a pig's ear of finding the right way. What we did once we'd got it right once, we just followed our tracer on the map a time or two. I think we just followed these torch markers to the first possible location. I think that's what we did. Actually, the first location is down here in front of this big tomb. There's a big slab of stone here. This is where the first one can be, first chest on here. So that's the first one you're looking for. Obviously not here at the moment. Okay, looking out for treasure bags, not there. So turning to the south, we can see this this little path going through the hills. So we're heading that way. Looking almost immediately left, we're going to turn back on ourselves here, up here, and then back on ourselves again. This one is up very often, maybe every time, I don't know. And of course now I've said that is not there. nothing here. But this is where he would be. Now we're going up the side of the mountain, that pathway there, you can see. Let's get back on the horse. So we could have had 2 already there. The third one is in one of these huts you can see just ahead of us now, here. I think he comes wandering out of there. Is that? Yeah, that's one. You can see the chest in the background. So if these people will just stop pestering me for a moment, I'll go and collect the chest. It's obviously on heroic. So you see 13 tokens straight away. It's on heroic, so I'm paying scant regard for my own life. This is a legendary capped character. I don't think there's anything else here, but there are, I think, 2 if you just hug the side of the heels again. I think there are 2 more possible up here at the top. Again, they come running out of there can be 1 come running out of here. There you go, another one. I think he may always be up, that one. I've never known him not to be. So that's 2 we've found. Another 12 tokens and a diamond of balance. We'll take it. Okay, so back the way we came, just retrace the path. Going to go back through the gap between those 2 sets of hills, the way we came in, and on into what is the undead area. Stick to the left hand side. We're waiting now for a little opening into a sort of a little maze area that is in this section. And there can be up to 4 chests in that one too. Oh, no. So this is it. You get like a little DM text telling you you're in the right place. The first one is, let me get this right, is here. You can see there's a chest there. So the first one is just inside this little sort of circle it almost makes, and you can see the little features there. Treasure bag. Pick up any treasure bags you find, more tokens. Another 8 tokens there. As mentioned, for each of these that you open, you can get really lucky and get the jackpot, which would be an item itself. There can be another one here just round the side of this stone thing, not up today. So then we're going up towards the top section. That's the bottom 2. Now there's one in the sort of whirlwindy section. It's a lot easier once you've lightened all the map and you can see where you're going. You can see I've gone hopelessly wrong there. But once you can see where you're going, honestly, it's a very quick run through. I'm looking for a little section that sort of goes back on itself. Is it through here? I think it may be, yes. So the whirlwinds are a clue because that's what's in this area. The next one can be around here. That's it, there it is. Another 11 tokens, happy days. And now we're going up towards the top section. I think I've gone the wrong way, yes I have. The top one I think is the one, or at least one of the ones, that can drop the Ring of Spell Storing if it's up. So that would be lovely to get while all you folks are watching, but not so this time. It's here if it was up. So what did we get there? We got did we get 3 in all? 3 chests, was that? No, 4. We got 4. We got 4 out of the 8. So reasonable. Not particularly lucky, but reasonable. And we ended up with let's have a look. My mess of an inventory. Oh, it's in they go in the red bag if you didn't know. So we ended up with, let's call it 50 tokens from what was maybe a 10-minute run, and it would go much faster, as I said. Once you've got the map sorted. Is that the entrance point? Yes. So we came. Is that right? Yes, that's right. So we came from there. We came down into the undead area and checked the first one in front of the tombs. Then went down in between the hills, looking for the 3 chests down here, and then up towards the undead area where there can be 1, 2, 3, 4 if you're lucky. If you are near a chest that you've already opened, it does highlight it on the map there, or that you've already found. So it highlights it on the map when you're close by it. I think that's how it works. So let's go and take a look now in the sands area. If there's any of you who don't know where to go to collect the items and what's on offer, some of the peculiarities and some of the good things, because there are 1 or 2 let's call them discrepancies I've noticed. Like things that look particularly good in heroic and then lose their luster in epic, or things that are the other way around. So it's this one you're looking for, Masei Imports, just to the southwest of the waterhole, the tavern. So we go in there, and there we go. That's the trader. Just tell him we're an adventurer, we found some tokens you're looking for. Opens up a barter window. Come on, game, don't let me down. Let's try again. Opens up a barter window, thank you. And in the past, I think people went for these simple things because they could have clickables on them. What was the one people went for clickables? Was it these simple weapons? But anyway, I would strongly advise to ignore those now. And the ones you are looking for are the blue ones. Now these can drop in the wilderness area. As I've said, all of these can drop in the wilderness area, or from the raid. There are the Zawabi's Revenge. There are some like, oh, maybe not. No, these are only ones that drop from the wilderness area then. Just ignore me on the other score. I was thinking of a crossbow my little ranged character uses when leveling, but that's come from the raid, so ignore that. But there are some good things from here, and all of them have a little set bonus attached to them as well, which obviously gets bigger if you make it epic and then legendary. So which particular items could we draw attention to? Well, the ones I know about, the bow Thornlord in the epic version, I am pretty sure, let me just make sure I'm not telling you rubbish. Yeah, the epic version has an expanded critical threat range, 19 to 20. An insightful double shot, distant diversion, armor piercing. So that's a very decent weapon with 2 slots usable from 20. So if you're leveling as a bow and not inquisitive, definitely one to look for. The heroic version, not so much. That doesn't have. That's an example of a weapon that shines in epic, let's say, and is mediocre to my mind anyway for heroic. This next one is the one I was looking for. We're going to use this hopefully in our next life to come with purple, the barbarian life. The critical range there, 17 to 20, is expanded. For a great sword normally it would be 19 to 20, and you can see there's no keen on there, so the improved critical slashing will stack with that to give us a really nice critical threat range as we level. So that's the plan with that one. The sad thing about it is if I were to make that epic, the threat range would shrink to 19 to 20 for reasons I don't fully understand, but as a heroic two-hander, that looks like an awesome weapon for those like me who don't have access to the Sword of Shadows from the Von raid. I've never run that raid, I'm afraid. So Whirlwind, another definite go-to in heroic if you're into your melee. Wolf Whistle is an interesting one. If you upgrade that to legendary, I'll cover how to upgrade in a minute if you don't know. If you upgrade that to legendary, you can summon some kind of very tanky hound, which even in more difficult Reaper quests at the legendary level can last for quite some time and take the attention away from squishier characters. So that's an interesting one to play about with if you are so inclined. I'm just going on the ones I know. Zoom is another one that you folks have recommended to me already. Now, the heroic version I can see doesn't look particularly tempting, just looks like standard numbers to me. But the epic Zoom has a ×3, so an expanded critical multiplier, which makes it very interesting for leveling from 20 for epic. So I have a feeling our barbarian to be may be revisiting that weapon. Some of you might recall, if you saw the Eldritch Knight series, that we used that to good effect for the leveling in epic. So that's another very nice item to consider. There may be plenty of others. I'm just going on the ones that I'm aware of. And of course there are nice set bonuses too. This, for example, sneaky dice, saving throws, dex and con. So a nice one for any sort of sneak attack based character. And of course the bonuses increase when made epic and again when made legendary. I think one of the nicest ones is the Raven. Oh, let's just show you the Ring of Spell Storing. So that's what all the fuss was about for us for searching. So the bear finally has a Ring of Spell Storing. So when you look at the heroic version, and it's pretty mediocre, the mana it restores. But you make it epic, and suddenly you're getting what would be the average 250, 350 mana restored per charge, and it's got 3 charges. That's on average. Maybe I'm doing it a bit low. Maybe it would be 300 to 400. I think it's a really super item. You could, let's say you could work on 1,000 mana per ring. You can only have one, it's exclusive. But if you've got a legendary character, there's nothing to stop you from having an epic ring of spell storing with 3 charges, and also a legendary with 5 charges, because they're classed as different items. I would suggest in most cases that's overkill. My druid has them here, look. But very rarely does he dip into to all of those. I think the epic one on its own would be just fine for most people, just as a bit of a top up if you get into a tight spot. Ah yes, Bloodstone. Now that one, if you happen to find that one at the moment, can we see on the Shard Exchange? Yeah, look, there's one there. I'm not saying it's going to sell for that, but the person obviously thinks there's a chance of selling it for that. 375 shards. It's a very decent... oh, hang on. Let's close that. Bring it back up again. A very decent item in its own right for especially for any sneaky types, but for melee and ranged in general, got all the good stuff you want on there. But the set bonus, as you can see there, I've shown that on a necklace already. The set bonus is very nice, and I think it could well be among the best in slot as a trinket for ranged sneak attack builds, which I guess all ranged are at the moment, almost. So highly prized if you happen to be lucky enough to find one. Let's just have a look, see if we've missed anything at the end. Oh, and yes, that one. That can fall in at least one, maybe 2 of the chests that that we were looking for in the run through I just did. As it is, it's reasonable for use in heroic. You totally could use it like that. I like to upgrade them to epic, where you get I think it's 3 charges, 15 minutes each, of AoE, Death Ward, clickable. So you can Death Ward your whole party with one of those, even if you're not natively able to cast the spell. So really nice, that. So let's suppose we had one of these items on us. I think maybe I could find one at the bank. Let's have a look. I just want to show briefly the upgrade procedure for any of you who's not aware of that. Dusk. I'm just looking for one of those dusk heart. Oh, it doesn't look like we've got one. Okay, so I'll just show you the very quickly the area we'd go. So the upgrades are done in the 12. I have touched on this before in other things, so apologies if I'm repeating myself a bit. So teleport to the 12. And it's all takes place here, Altar of Epic Rituals. I don't know if it would show if I put spell. Yeah, there we go. So let's say I had a ring of spell storing that I wanted to make epic, which I definitely recommend you do because the heroic one to me is fairly useless. So it's telling us there all we need is our heroic ring plus 50 desert sands crystals, which drop in any of the epic sands quests. So you'll be picking those up as you do the quests in the area. I'm pretty sure fools will have some of those. Or maybe not. Maybe I've passed them to the people who are wanting them. Or maybe I'm looking in the wrong bag. But dead easy. Doesn't require anything particularly special or any great effort to farm. And it's like that for any of the wilderness items. Just the same. Dead easy to upgrade. The only differences you'll have, only more challenging upgrades you'll have, is if you try and upgrade a raid item here. For example, the raid item I was talking about, the Storm crossbow, which is very nice for inquisitives for leveling through epic. You would need 5 greater tokens of the 12 to upgrade something like that, with it being a raid item. But these ones I've just covered, dead easy to upgrade with pack ingredients only, which you are very likely to have collected anyway, just running the content without realizing it. So that's about it. Too long didn't listen. If you have eyes on any of the sands wilderness items and really don't want to farm until your eyes bleed, until something actually drops from a chest for you, that's a really nice way of making it achievable, in my opinion. Like, let's say you're a couple of hundred bronze tokens short. I would suggest that in maybe half an hour tops, the bear and I were able to garner 200 plus of those bronze tokens without really killing ourselves, running round the things. We found plenty of chests. We actually found 1 or 2 items, none of the more desirable ones, but you've always got that chance. And then maybe you could save yourself 600 tokens or so if you happen to drop the one that you're looking for, or find yourself an unexpected treasure. Anyway, I just thought I'd share that in case some of you hadn't investigated the area or didn't know, some of the nice things that could potentially drop in there. Because I thought we did pretty well there, unexpectedly so. Actually, I wasn't expecting to get so many. So, for those of you looking to increase your stock on those things, or if like me you have your eye on a certain item, maybe for a next life, perhaps that could be a way to ease the collection of the last 100 or so. Okay, that's about all I wanted to mention. Thank you very much as always for looking, and I'll speak to you next time. Take care.